Welcome to another episode on Connected Crime Official. Episode 3, we've got KevinLane. Kevin, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Thank you for travelling.
Thank you for having me.
A far journey to come down. Thank you for that. I want to start getting into your upbringing, your childhood. Can we talk a little bit about how you were brought up and everything with your childhood?
I was brought up in the countryside.
Yeah.
Lovely countryside, lots of farms, lots of pubs.
Yeah.
Lots of fighting. It was a man's village. Because it's a lot of pubs there, you had a lot of pub crawls there. With that comes quite a notorious emptying out time in the high street, people bumping into each other. So there's 2 SPG vans we used to have parked in the village on a Friday and Saturday night in a little village. Special patrol groups they were called back in the day. I'm sure you remember that, Shaquille.
Yeah.
And they were loaded with 12 or 15 police officers ready to do battle, and that's what they were doing. Not every night, but they've had. I remember at one time there was a circus in town, and there was a riot, and they blocked the high street off by turning cars over, and mentalness for a beautiful little idyllic village. I grew up there, lovely school, brothers and sisters. I had a good upbringing in the area and such where I lived, schools.
What was it like not having a father figure? Because did you lose your father when he was when you were young?
My mother and father separated, and then I was without a father up till I was about 12. My mum remarried, so I had many years as a young boy, fatherless.
Fatherless, yeah.
And of course, pining for your father all the time.
Yeah. And did that kind of affect not having a father figure to guide you? Did that affect like right from wrong?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Did it kind of blur the lines for you? Because obviously, with a father figure, your dad's going to educate you on certain things. With you not having that at such a young age, you know what I mean? You were did you feel like misguided in a way?
I made my own decisions in life at that point instead of having a father figure to lead me.
Yeah.
Your hero. Or it's father saying, no, I'm telling you, son, don't do that. Oh, my dad would kill me if I was... Oh.
Yeah.
And then you do it because you love your father anyway, so you follow his guidance rather than rebel. I never had that.
Yeah.
I was my father.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, it wasn't ideal because I had my own flat when I was 15. Sharing it wasn't my own. I was sharing it with a fellow called Mark Bayliss. He's dead now, but at 15 I was working full time. I had to go to school 1 day a week. I had 4 days work release, so I was working with Josh Clack, builder in the area, and then working in the chip shop after that day's work on the site. In the evenings peeling the chips, and then opening it on a Sunday when the licensing laws changed. So I was fully into work by the time I was 14.
Yeah, I was going to say, because you started work, you started like hustling at a young age, didn't you? Like, jobs, different work and, businesses and stuff like that. What was the mindset behind it? Like, do you think like, I want money and like what you probably didn't have when growing up, you thought, I want the right things.
When you're working hard and you're getting money, you like the taste of that money and you like to be able to provide yourself and buy new clothes and new football boots and new football kits at that age that you long for and see your other pals wearing them, but your mum's a single parent with a few children. That becomes quite difficult. So the work ethos come from the reward, which was the money and being able to look smart and have things that I wouldn't been able to have if I hadn't worked.
Yeah, okay. Before I jump into the Robin McIll murder, I wanted to talk to you about kidnapping, what you've been involved in. Would you be happy to talk about that?
Yeah, I've done, yeah.
What sort of kidnapping you've been involved in? How many times have you been involved in it? The types of people that you kidnapped? Any particular stories that you can tell me that, that kind of stuck with you? That you might have kind of regretted or you didn't regret?
I regret a couple of them, more so because I took someone away once just to get some information out of him. He didn't deserve what happened. I also kidnapped, I've done restorative justice with Will. You might see that on a couple of other podcasts, but I did one with him.
Yeah.
And he was put up as a man that was meant to have threatened a lady and a baby with a knife.
Yeah.
He was put up by his work colleagues and so on and so forth, but he wasn't him. However, at the time I was told it was him, so I kidnapped him and I ran him over, and he was in hospital a week without knowing his name for a concussion, and I gassed him and took him up to London and then threw him in a canal after battering him and such. So I regret that, but me and Will talk all the time now. Heather, he went through an horrendous time, so I regret that. It changed his life as well.
Yeah.
At that time when I did it, all I see was someone was putting a knife to a baby and this young girl, but in fact it wasn't actually a baby. He put the knife, or he didn't, but the gentleman that did do it, when I say gentleman, I say that loosely, put the knife to her belly and said, "I will cut you and I will cut your baby." That's even more grotesque.
It is, yeah.
100%. So what I was considering is, you've done what? Come here. I need to have a chat with you.
Yeah, yeah.
So I didn't regret those sort of things that I did. I have kidnapped a few people, but what it is, classing kidnapping is a different level of kidnapping. So I would take you from a pub.
Yeah.
I would get hold of you outside where you work.
Yeah.
As a kidnap.
Yeah.
And holding you hostage, they class as that, against your will. It's not like the Colombians where they've taken you away, they've put you in a room and they keep you for months or years.
Or chop you up and
chop
stuff
you
like
up,
that,
or the Mexicans and so on and so forth. Terry Waite, for instance, and that, he was about 11 years, I think he was.
Yeah.
So it's taken against someone's consent is a kidnap, but you're letting them go that day or that night.
Yeah.
Done quite a lot of them.
Okay. Right. Let's talk about the Robin McIll murder. Robin McIll, 13th of October 1994, he was murdered. Can you talk me through your alibi for that day? Just to give a little backdrop of Robin McIll, the guy's walking down a country lane, I think it's by his house, walking his dog. Two guys jump out of the bushes, shoot him dead. 5 times they shoot him in the head. Wham bam, he's dead. And I think they get away unmasked. There's witnesses and everything else. We'll talk about that a bit later. But what was your alibi for that day? Where were you on that day?
So I was at home that morning.
Okay.
Took my boy to school.
Yeah.
And that was it, really.
Okay.
They couldn't disprove that, the police. But what they did do, Spackman, the corrupt police officer in the case, he phoned up the mother of my children and said, "We're going to arrest you. We're going to take you to the police station. We're going to charge you." And then he turned up at a gym where she was training, just using every method he could to impose a threat on her and stress.
That was your missus at the time?
Yeah.
So he didn't directly get in touch with you. How long after the murder did they pick you up?
I got arrested on the 16th of January.
October, November, December. Like 3-4 months later?
Yeah.
So at the time of the murder, did they pick anybody up?
So at the time of the murder, there was 2 original suspects.
Yeah, Roger Vincent and David Smith, or not?
I can't say that, but that is correct. They were arrested, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and one of them began engaged in confidential chats immediately from when he was in the police station. Yeah. Public record, that is,
Can I just reference Robert Spackman's CV, just for the camera?
So Spackman was Vincent's handler in another case.
Oh, right. Yeah, not Robert Spackman. Yeah, Spackman, the DI in charge. The DI in charge of your case attempted to steal £160,000 from Hertfordshire police custody, a sum seized by John Mayer, intimidating Mayer, threatening him with report to the Inland Revenue, persuading the police accounts department to issue a checkout, forging documents, attempted to open an account in somebody else's name, forging checks. This is the guy that was in charge of your case.
He was practicing signing signatures on driving licences in his office. On the you get the paper board on your desk, don't you?
Yeah.
He was practicing on there, counterfeiting, going down to the birth and death certificate office.
Yeah. Getting
people's names and reopening a bank accounts in them, and forging documents within the prison, within the police environment. And he did that in my case, and did that in other cases as well.
Yeah. In your case, what is the evidence pointing to getting you convicted? What did they do to prove that it was you? I know you didn't do it and everything, but how did they fit you up? How did Spackman and the other guys, the suspects involved, because they were in cahoots with each other, what evidence did they, you know what I mean, get together to put towards a jury that convicted you in the second trial? What did they do? What was the tipping point for them?
So
because you pleaded your innocence from day dot, from the start, and said there was nothing to do with you. Served 20 years in prison for a crime that you didn't commit. But what I want to know is what they did to implicate you, to get you convicted.
I wasn't arrested due to the evidence that they had obtained in the case. Okay. I was arrested as a result of the confidential chats that steered the direction of the investigation at me.
Right.
And then once they steered the investigation at me, they then built a case around me.
Yes.
So the evidence that they presented at court came about after my arrest, not subsequently as a result of their investigations. It came about as of the confidential chats which you've seen in my book, Fitted Up and Fighting Back. And from that then, they had the corrupt police officer Spackman wrote a statement out in David Smith's name, and he signed it as a matter of truth, and that went before the judge saying that I was responsible for the murder.
You're right.
There was circumstantial evidence in such of a fingerprint on a bag. That fingerprint appeared on the bag after I was released. After I'd been printed and then released from the police station.
Yeah.
So that bag was taken out of the exhibit office. It's the only time it was taken out of the exhibit office with the seals being broken. They had no signatures next to those seals being broken, or put back on and put back in that room. And that was during my time of arrest. Right, so when it went in front of the jury was told that I'd gripped a gun inside that bag, and there was a nitroglycerin firearm residue, one particle. That was one particle, and that was found inside a plumber's pipe inside the boot of a car that I was loaned. So they told the jury that that was consistent of having used ammunition in there, spent ammunition, or a gun. Now, if you are a jury member, you'll think, well, he's gripped a gun in there. You've had a forensic expert turn around and say, there's a mark on my print, and that's consistent with gripping a Mossberg pump action in that bag. You're thinking, oh, so he's gripped a gun, there's been live ammunition in there. That was damning for me. That got me guilty. That was a tipping point. As well as other stuff like Leonard Bennett, he was caught with the car and he was asked to dispose of that car by the original suspects. They kept his statements from me for 12 years. If I'd have had his statements during trial, I'd have said, well, why don't you go and ask Bleeding Bill and Ben, the flower pot men, about how come this man's saying that you gave him the car and asked him to burn it. So that was withheld from me. Other details, for instance, one of my codees, who had the confidential chats, who's now serving time for killing David King.
David King,
His mother was slapped around the face by the deceased's sister-in-law 2 weeks before the murder. And that lady, the deceased's niece, should I say, was living at my co-defendant's house. So there was conflict within the families, but that was withheld from me.
Did you have any connection with your co-defendant?
No.
No connection whatsoever?
No.
Okay.
No, they took a cold case and built it around me and fitted me up.
Right, okay.
And that was the tipping point, was the evidence of the gun, really. And stuff like, I had money sent to me when I was in Spain. I was living out there for 6 months. So that money went missing from the records. How could it go missing? I alluded to that and I said, I've had the money sent to me. I've had to pick it up from various travel agents and stuff and purchase into people's banks. Once the police done their investigations, it wasn't available.
Right, okay.
So it made them look like a liar. But where did I get the money to live for in 6 months in Spain?
I was going to ask you, didn't they say that the money that you were sent when you were in Spain was the money that you'd got paid to do the job or something?
No, they alluded that they didn't, because they denied that I received money being sent to me.
Because you were getting money sent to you, you could prove that you were getting legitimate money sent to you from this person, but they didn't want to use that person. They didn't go to him and say, look, can you make a statement to say that he got lost or something.
That's right.
Yeah, they make a statement to say that, yeah, you were the person who sent him the money. The money was legit. It came from, I don't know, a couple of Barclays account or whatever it was.
It was Barclays.
Yeah, and you could prove that, but they weren't having that. They didn't go to the people that could have supported you in your plight to kind of get you off.
Any evidence that supported my case was withheld, brushed under the carpet, or ignored.
Yeah.
So there was a gentleman called Patel. He actually died. They went to his wife, and their excuse was that she didn't speak English. Just seize his bank account.
Who was this gentleman, Patel?
He had a business in Tenerife. I paid £4,000 as by way of example into his account. He paid me straight out of his takings in Tenerife.
Okay.
So sometimes I'd had money transferred and it's held in the banking system for like 2 weeks to get to me.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, I'm not going through that again.
Yeah.
So £4,000 to him. He paid me the money out of his shop and I got it straight away. And they lost that transaction.
Can you tell me a little bit about the suspects? Because they were implicated in murders before your conviction, and obviously, and then they got done for the David King murder. What kind of, what kind of background have they got, or what can you tell me a little bit about the two guys that were original suspects in the case?
I didn't know very much about them.
Yeah.
Okay, until the case came out. In fact, I didn't know nothing about them.
Wasn't they boasting that they had done the murder?
Yeah.
And wasn't a lot of people ringing up the police saying it's these two guys, giving their names in, saying it was them who'd done the murder?
20 odd tip-offs saying that they was going around calling themselves Ronnie and Reggie and that they'd killed the deceased.
Yeah.
Bragging about it.
Bragging about it.
Absolutely.
But when one of the suspects, or two of them, get pulled in for it, Spackman's in there in the custody suite, they get like preferential treatment when they're in there. I mean, I've never known that on a murder case where you got a suspect there, who's a suspect to a murder, getting visits in, having private chats with the officer in charge and everything, making phone calls and stuff like that.
Chineses, Kentucky Fried Chickens, visit from cousin.
What kind of murder suspect is that?
Visit from your Cody's mother. Letting your Cody's mother visit you. Visit from your cousin in
custody suite.
In a custody suite on their own.
I've never known that to happen. Not in a really in a murder case, a serious case. Yeah.
You're held incommunicado normally.
Yeah.
I got nothing when I was in there.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. I didn't ask for nothing. I got nothing. I wasn't being woken up and told them that your girlfriend would be visiting later. I wouldn't be woken up to say, no, you got another visit and another visit and another visit from your girlfriend. She'd be visiting later, was what he was told. Like she could come and go at will. Unbelievable.
That's crazy, isn't it?
But at the time, I wasn't aware that a deal had been done.
Yeah.
And that's what was happening. I had no idea at all.
Yeah. And I want to go back to the DI, Spackman. Did he have it in for you at an early age? Did you come across him before this conviction?
I remember I bought a house when I was 21 in a nice area. Yeah. Lamar lived down at the Singer, in the road opposite me. And I remember Spackman coming to arrest me.
Yeah.
And I was...
How old was you?
21.
Okay.
And I was ringing cars at the time, but I also was working.
Yeah.
He looked and he said, "This is a better house than mine." And I said, "Well, change your job then." Cocky little 21-year-old.
Yeah.
Driving a 911 Porsche, had an RS Turbo, I had 5 cars, I just had a whole extension on the front of the house, new windows, gates and all sorts of things. He hated me.
Yeah.
And then when he nicked me for this car ring, and he nicked me with these lads that were ringing cars, but I wasn't ringing cars with them. He had to let me go. However, he came to my cell and said, "I'll have you one day, Lane."
Yeah.
Slammed the door, run out of the cell. And then when I got arrested for the murder, I thought, where do I know this geezer from? And then one day, bing, the light came on. It's him, Spackman.
Spackman. And
that was it. And then in the book, he turns around and said he's the most feared man in Watford. He's fitted a load of people up. There's been another called Khan and Bashir. They had their conviction squashed at the Court of Appeal.
Yeah, because
as a result of Spackman's actions in his case.
Yeah.
And he'd done the same in their case as he'd done in mine, and the same in his own.
And the 160 guy, what was that case where he tried to take money out of, obviously, the police station to, you know, he was in some sort of fraud case as well, which he got 4 years for.
He contacted the person whose money it was and said, right, you're not getting that money back, it's proceeds of crime.
Right.
He threatened him, said he was going to report him to the Inland Revenue, so on and so forth. But the gentleman whose money it was wasn't having none of it.
Yeah.
Spackman got documents signed to say that he'd returned the money to him, that he had it transferred out of one account into giving him cash back, and he didn't give him the cash back. He transferred it into another account that he had opened with somebody else.
Yeah. Okay.
It was quite detailed. It's not as simple as that. When you see what he had to go to, the lengths that he had to go to, showed you that he could do as he see fit within the police environment under their noses, and then it allows you to understand how come it's easy to fit myself up, Khan and Bashir, and do what he did in his own case.
Yeah.
Because no one asked any questions. The only questions they asked was after the person that owned the money made a complaint and said he's up to no good, and then they put an investigation on him. And from that investigation, they followed him. And not only did they follow him, going to births and death certificates and all, not to there, but to different people's houses.
Yeah.
He went to a cannabis factory and was watering the plants. Never got charged for that.
I can't believe how this police officer got away with how much he got away with without, you know, it's unheard of, really. But
the reason being is because he would have said, if I go, you go.
Yeah.
If I get nicked for this, you're involved.
So he had
Nick,
like a gang of police officers that were all probably in on it with him, kind of thing, and one kind of looked after each other.
Look, say for instance, we're all police officers.
Yeah.
You conduct an investigation. You know that information is vital to my defence.
Yeah.
However, it doesn't appear in my defence. It doesn't appear in the evidence that disclosed to me. Spackman did not fit me up on his own. He had other officers that was aware of material that wasn't disclosed to
Higher
me.
up than him.
Higher up. He went right to the very top.
Yeah.
But also detective sergeants that were working with him. So information that's been obtained was not disclosed to me. So there was other people involved in this that suppressed evidence. Didn't do it on his own. He couldn't have done it on his own.
Okay. Let me take you back now let me take you back to the day you were in court, in the dock, and the foreman returned a guilty verdict. Can you tell me your mindset when the foreman, obviously the judge, said you're guilty of this crime? What was your thoughts?
That's it. I'm in a very deep hole here now. My whole life in front of me is gone for the next 30
What did the judge
years.
say to you? Did he say, what was it? Can you remember how he summed you up?
At the time, during the trial, the police asked for the maximum sentence of 30 years to be imposed on me, which was horrific at that time.
Yeah.
It's horrific now anyway. I mean,
it is,
30 years, but the normal average for a murder was 12 years upwards. So to get 30, I thought, my God, what age am I going to be when I get out? I'll be like 57, 60. So when he sentenced me, I turned to the gallery, see my family, and there's a bit of an uproar up there.
Yeah.
I turned to the jury and said, you've made a terrible mistake, I never did this. But at the time of it, it was like, that's it, my children, they're gone, I'm not going to see my children no more. Yeah. My life's finished. The mother of my children, that's finished. A life of prison visits and travelling up and down the country, all of that is flashing through your mind at a great pace of knots.
Yeah.
Doom and gloom, dread, and not fear, but dread of what is in front of me. Oh my God, my life now is behind the door.
Behind the door.
Slammed shut.
Tell me your first night in prison.
First night in prison was in Belmarsh unit.
Belmarsh. Did they take you to the SS? Did you go straight into the special secure unit in Belmarsh on your first night?
Yeah.
Bam, straight in.
When I came back, there was a governor there, Governor Carroll. He was waiting for me with a load of staff in case I kicked off. I spent a lot of time in the blocks when I was in Belmarsh unit for having fights with staff.
Describe to me, because I've heard about it, but I don't know what it's like. Describe to me the special secure unit, what it looks like. It's your cell, you know.
Prison in a prison.
Prison in a prison.
High ceilings, very high ceilings, so you can't hang yourself.
Okay.
Metal chair, metal coming out of the wall, just a slab basically.
Yeah.
Metal table, bolted to the floor.
Yeah.
Again, metal bed, bolted to the floor, no curtains, bare.
And how long did you spend in there?
14 and a half months. Spent a lot of time in the segregation unit, the hole, should I say.
The hole.
Spent the time in there for having run-ins with some staff in there that were trying to run it on violence, and I rebelled. As a result of that, I was in the block quite a while. I was given a letter in there, a contract to sign, saying, if you don't stop assaulting staff. I thought, assaulting staff? Your staff have threatened me. I've retaliated to that. So it's not me threatening them. As a result of me retaliating, I've ended up in the strip cells, the boxes, crushed concrete boxes where you're naked in there till you calm down. But they leave you in there for ages, days sometimes, or 24 hours, overnight, shivering. So they give me a contract to sign like I just told you. I got a big red marker pen and I signed it bollocks. Sometimes I've sided them and said, I tell the jokes around here. Give it back to them, you know.
Right, okay. Tell me...
It wasn't a nice place. You've got a prison within a prison. And that prison has got its own walls, its own fences. Bear in mind, it's already in a prison with its own walls, its own fences. And there's Alsatians walking around it. And you've got police helicopters going over. You can imagine it. It's like a film out of, scene out of a film.
Was it a triple Cat A, or what was it, a Cat A? Or?
So I was triple category A. I was high risk to begin with, and then triple.
You was... they give you an AKA... you know, you were nicknamed the Executioner. You were one of UK's most dangerous prisoners. I think the Home Office, did they give you that kind of title?
Yeah, they give a lot of people that, but they did say, they named me, when I was triple category A, I was the only man in the country held on remand without being convicted. And they placed me with the lads who escaped out of Whitemore Special Secure Unit for convicted prisoners, and they were IRA and Andy Russell, the former East End Baddo. They escaped out of that, so they came to Belmarsh Special Security Unit, triple category A, on remand, convicted prisoners but facing a trial for the escape. So when I went in, first of all, as high risk inmate, they then made me up to triple category A. When I went to triple category A, bearing in mind I wasn't convicted, they just introduced permanently closed visits. You had no contact with people. Your solicitor, your barrister, your family, that's it. Other cons, not meant to come in contact with them. And you was held in another part of the unit, isolated again. And I was put with those lads.
Okay. How long, from the time you got convicted, how long did it take you to come to terms with the sentence?
Years.
Yeah.
Years. I had 18 moves in 4 years.
Some Before of those you could get your head around your sentence?
No, I didn't get it around my, my sentence for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years.
Okay.
About 10 years, I thought, how much more of this? And I'd had enough of it by then. Literally worn down, think, God, I'm sick of what goes on the landings. Sick of the lifestyle, sick of the meeting walls all the time, the obstacles. Fighting for your justice, getting nowhere. You're stonewalled, really. That's the term used where you're getting nowhere. It's like running into a stone wall. I'd write like 100 letters and hope to get one reply. It took me 7 years before I got on the BBC News and had an article written by The Guardian, Duncan Campbell, Nick Hopkins, Jamie Doward, and Louise Shortier. She assisted me from Trial and Error, and then the Innocent Project, Rough Justice, she was formerly known for. I had a lot of support in that area, but it took lots and lots of letters.
Okay. Sally
Chidsor of BBC Look East, she did an article on me first of all on the news. That was my first news article in my defence, where she interviewed 2 coppers and turned around and said he's innocent. And then Duncan Campbell, Last Chance for Justice, he did it. That was Mark Daly, should I say, but Duncan Campbell for The Guardian, he interviewed 2 police officers as well, serving and non-serving, and they both said I was innocent from the police station where I was convicted.
Could you talk to me about, obviously, how you controlled your anger in there when you were in a volatile place like prison and that, you got into tear-ups and everything. Can you give me some examples of like scraps you've had in there? Couple stories that come to mind is that you mentioned in your book, a guy called Frenchie was blowing kisses at you. Can you tell me about that story?
Frenchie was a big lump. He'd been in the French Foreign Legion. He was a kickboxer. And a big lump.
Yeah.
Muscles coming out of his fucking arse.
But I didn't mention, sorry to cut you, I didn't mention that you had the tools of your trade, which is your hands. You know, you could...
Gelignite.
Yeah.
Dynamite.
Yeah, they
Take
called
your pick
you
if you're
lights
going to
out.
sleep.
They called you lights out Lane for a reason. Obviously, we haven't mentioned that you had a nice boxing career, but maybe we'll mention that a bit later on. But yeah, talk to me about Frenchie.
So I was in the gym with Ronnie Court, Ron the Don from White City.
Yeah.
And this new fella was in there, and I was going to get on the rower, and this fella kissed his teeth at me. You kissing your teeth at me?
Yeah.
I had no idea why.
Yeah.
So I had a very short temper then. It took me years to get control of it.
Yeah.
And the self-talk, talking in my head, always listening to myself, that cheeky bastard, who do you think he is? I'm not fucking having that.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
You never took a liberty, you just thought...
No,
you
never
know,
took a liberty at all. And
anybody...
that's why I'm well liked in the system.
Yeah.
Because I see Kevin takes time for the underdogs, people who nobody recognises.
Yeah, the downtrodden, you stuck up for them.
I like talking to them. They can be the right characters, nice kids or fellas. So anyway, this bleeding Frenchie's kissed his teeth at me. And behind it, I found out years later that my name was one that's put to him as someone who might be a problem to him if he started acting up. So he's kissed his teeth at me. I've gone over. I've hit him. He's gone over. Put his hand down, stopped him going over. I chased him into the hall. No, I was like, mate, it's all right, mate, it's all right. Anyway, I was going, you ever kiss your teeth at me again, mate, for no reason, I'm telling you. So a couple of days later, he came back and said, can I have another go? I've put my arm straight up.
Yeah.
He's got no with the gloves on. So then he'd done some training for about 6 weeks.
Oh, right, okay, you had like a little spar with him. Well, saying they went a spar, it was just a tear up with gloves.
I did, so he was training for 6 weeks, and then Davey Fraser was training him, Frankie Fraser's boy, but Davey said to me, only the other week, Davey said to me, Kevin, I was training him, he said, to help him protect himself because you were going to give him a right good hiding. He said, I don't know what he thought he was doing. He said, yeah, I'll train you, but you were in trouble. Yeah. So we've gone down the gym the next morning. This geezer, go back a little bit, this geezer was going to attack someone who had children, and he would have marked this other fella up. The other fella would have had to go back, no problem about that, but I thought, this bloke's got kids, I'll put a stop to that. So I went up to him, he was coming down the kitchen, this Frenchie. I said, you know that fight you want? It's tomorrow morning in the gym at 8 o'clock.
It's on.
Next thing you know, we were in the gym at 8 o'clock. Their room was packed. No one was training at all.
Yeah.
Ron the Don was the ref, and these were the rules that I asked to be. Straight punching, no holding. If you get knocked out, you stop the clock. When you come round, you finish the round off.
Yeah.
We had the start of it. I hit him. He fell into the corner. Turned around and faced me. Turned around and grabbed me. No holding. That was the rules. What he's done, he's thrown me. As he's thrown me, and I've hit my head on, say, that table, and then the concrete floor, and it was pure concrete. Split all my head open. But I was all dizzy. And my mate Gary, he picked me up, put me on the bench.
Yeah.
I said, right, I'm all right, I'll carry on. He goes, you ain't all right, Kevin. I said, I'll carry on. Not straight away. Good few seconds, 30 seconds probably, 40 seconds after. If it had been in the ring, it would have been a knockout.
Yeah,
I would have got up after 12.
Yeah, that's right.
So I've got, no, I'm all right. But then what he'd done was illegal anyway, in terms of our rules.
Yeah, that's right.
So I got behind my jabbed him off.
Yeah.
As I've gone back to the corner and the bell's gone, I said, you see you? I said, I'm going to fucking kill you when I come out of this next round.
Yeah.
I come straight out, knocked him spark out.
Yeah. He's
on the floor, his eyes rolling round. David's come out. He can't finish the round. So he's absolutely out cold. Yeah. So all right, I waited for him to get his act together, come out again, knocked him, spark out again. Yeah. Absolutely unconscious.
He loved getting sparked out, didn't he?
Yeah, he got sparked out that day twice. So he's on the deck. I've walked over to him. Listen, he's asleep. I pulled my gloves off. Yeah. I said, you ever asked me for a straightener again, and kicked him in the head? He's already asleep anyway. I shouldn't have done it, but I thought I was so angry. Yeah. So that was that fight with him. Yeah. And it turned out the reason why he did that is because he said he wanted to take over the wing. Well, there's many people on there. No one ran the wing. Yeah. There's many faces on them wings, but for some reason, he targeted me. Yeah. And that was his shortfall.
He got his just comeuppance, didn't he?
I nearly got mine and all, didn't I?
Well, yeah.
Very close.
But yeah, but
from an underhand move.
Underhand move and that, but I'd say in your favour, you coming from a boxing background, you're used to like getting your head punched or whatever, and
concrete was what done me.
Yeah.
That's what split me head open. And
Yeah.
I remember Ronnie Court stuck a big bit of bleeding Vaseline in the old big split wallop. That stopped the bleeding. Get on with it.
Get on with it, yeah.
And the screw came out of the office and he's gone, "What's going on, Kevin?"
Yeah.
I went, "It'll be over in a minute. Get back in the office." He went
Yeah.
back in the office and shut the door. And ACAT security, unheard of.
Unheard
It's the only fight I've ever seen in the gym where it's refed in the gym.
That's crazy.
Proper with gloves on.
That's
I've
crazy,
only ever
innit?
seen that.
They
when it was
allow
with
it,
me.
yeah.
How
That is
about
mad.
that?
Listen, talking about fights, I want to talk about Charles Bronson. You mentioned him in your book, and
He's up for parole again this year.
he is up for parole, isn't he?
Yeah.
If my memory serves me correct, is it 52 years he's been in?
42.
42.
Yeah.
42 years.
43.
Where
coming
did you?
up now.
Which prison did you meet him in, and how did the meeting take place? I know you're friends with him and everything. He's read your book and everything, and I will read out an extract, a letter that he'd sent you in, I think it was 2012.
One of the prisons it was in years ago.
Yeah. What kind of man was he? And
Well, Charlie came in, he was misguided
Yeah.
to begin with.
Yeah.
You know, he was young, his thought patterns then aren't what they are now. He was doing things then that he would never do again now.
Yeah.
So he liked a bit of boxing, a bit of prize fighting.
Yeah.
And he wrote to me in this letter and he said, "Kevin,
I'm
I'll
gonna
let
read
you
that.
read that." So in terms of someone who fights the system, he's fought the system, and as a result of fighting the system, look what they've done to him. But let's just very quickly look about the paedophiles that come in the prison system,
That's right.
been in and out, in and out, and in and out, and destroyed lots of lives,
Yeah.
and they ain't done 42 years.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to read an extract of his letter that he sent you Christmas 2012. Just had my yearly knockback on Cat A. 38 years on the book, Kev, and my crimes outside are really very silly. It's just like I'm Mr. Big, a serial gangster. Is it? I've just upset a lot of people. Inside, 11 hostages, 3 of them governors, 9 roofs, loved everyone a holiday, a multitude of assaults. Fuck me, I did 6 kangas in one day at Lawton. I don't know the end, mate. Not sure. I would want to. I'm 60 in December, still pushing 94 press-ups in 30 seconds. Who else can do that but me? We're all losers inside, every one of us. Clever people never ate prison porridge. So let's hope that he can, you know, he's done a,
How old does someone need to be
yeah,
before he can release them?
exactly, yeah. I mean, he, in your eyes, do you think he's a danger to society? I mean,
No.
they let out, you know, all manner of people. What has he done so bad? Okay, but he's done stuff that's bad, but he's done the time for it. When do they see, like, you know, where he's rehabilitated, his mindset's changed? You know, he does paintings, his paintings in exhibitions, he's doing positive
He had
stuff.
an exhibition at the Sanctum Soho Hotel this weekend, just
Yeah,
gone.
Sanctum, yeah.
Saturday. Tam Hassan's.
Tamer Hassan, yeah.
He was at it in there with him. I couldn't go, I was at another event.
Yeah.
But I would have gone otherwise.
That would have been good, yeah.
Yeah, I went to his first one.
Yeah.
So he donates a lot of his work to charity, Charlie. What he doesn't do for charity, he just picks a pen up straight away. No problem. He doesn't bat an eyelid.
Yeah.
The money that man's made, the money he's made for the films and everybody else but
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, but him.
So because he's been up on a few roofs, and that's his holiday,
Yeah.
he's out of the norm there, he's out of the cell, he's out of the cage, he's out of the exercise yards, he's up on the roof.
Yeah.
That is a holiday, it's freedom.
Yeah.
But no one's telling him what to do. That's what he means by that.
Yeah.
However, as a result of that,
Yeah.
he's being punished.
That's right.
And they're keeping him in now. But if you was to let him out here in his beautiful grounds of this beautiful hotel,
Yeah.
with a stencil and a paintbrush,
Yeah.
you wouldn't hear from him again.
Of course you wouldn't know. It's just,
How can he be considered a danger?
how can he be? Yeah, exactly. How can he be? So when's has he got another parole
September,
hearing?
I think,
in
October,
September?
yeah.
Let's hope that he can, you know, get some positive news from
But
him.
what have they done for him to release him this time? Again, what have they done to prepare him for release? Nothing.
Yeah, that's
In
another
3
thing.
years.
That's another thing I'm going to talk to you about. What do you think the government, in your opinion, can do to change the criminal justice system?
A lot.
What do you
hell
think?
of a lot. You need to dice.
You know, because there are a lot of, including yourself, miscarriages of justice, and you see them all the time on TV and everything, where people go inside and that, you know, where they shouldn't have gone inside for something, and they just get left there, and it's an uphill struggle trying, like yourself, trying to fight your innocence back again when it shouldn't be like that. You know,
You don't have.
they say innocent until proven guilty. It's like guilty until proven innocent.
In
you
this
know?
country, they say innocent until proven guilty, but it's the other way around.
Yeah.
So, for instance, in Germany, you have to prove your innocence, and that's pretty much what it is in this country.
It
you
is.
don't have any sensitive material in, for instance, say Spain. Whatever someone said about you, get told.
Yeah.
You get the opportunity to challenge your accuser. So I would have been able to challenge my accuser, my co-defendant,
Yeah.
based on what he was telling the authorities about I committed the murder. In his confidential chat, he said, I'll tell you how it was done, how much was paid, and other murders that he has done.
Yeah.
Well, I should have been able to say, well, hold on a minute.
Yeah.
How come you know so much about these murders? How can you be charged with murder and yet you're supplying information on the murder?
On the murder, yeah.
It's not right.
Yeah, that's not right.
It's not right, is it?
It was just like you're given a rein to do what you want.
Do what you want.
Yeah.
And he knew when he was getting out, and over phone calls
Exactly,
before the
Wasn't he trying to arrange a party or something to say
get
that
such and such to meet me when I'm released on Thursday.
In a pub
on
or
a
something.
phone call. The
Yeah.
judge stopped the trial on a Thursday, which was unbeknown to us. We didn't expect it to be stopped on a Thursday, and ordered the jury to acquit him. And they acquitted him. And he was on the prison phone saying, get such and such to meet me when I'm released on Thursday. Get this fella, get that fella, all the rest of it.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And having police visits up and down the country in different prisons, discussing other murders. All in the book. There's no black order on my book. There's no solicitor's complaints. There's no court proceedings on my book.
Yeah.
Everything in there is from the public domain.
Yeah.
Argue that one then, because you can't.
Yeah.
So,
That's right.
what I would do to change the prison system,
Yeah, what would you
I
do?
would do away with sensitive material to a massive degree, unless it's to the government or such,
Yeah.
if it threatens the royal family. But if it's your accusers, you should be able to challenge people. I do believe you should have segregation for a high majority of prisoners that are in for terrorism to do with Islam. They're converting misfits and wannabes.
Okay. Yeah.
Are they also making people do stuff in prison that they wouldn't want to do?
Yeah.
But because they're Muslim, if you do it with us, or you're going to get it.
Yeah.
So there's lads in there that think, you've brought trouble to my door, but I'm just a normal bloke and he's my mate. He's a white fella, he's not a Muslim, but me and him are best mates.
Yeah.
But now you're saying because I'm Muslim, I've got to follow you and I've got to attack him. I've
Yeah.
got to carry out attacks, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. And if
Yeah.
you don't, then you will attack me. You'll have Sharia law in prison.
Yeah.
So that has influenced the prison system, where it's caused a divide
Yeah.
against people that are really close.
Yeah.
But because you've got others in there that are saying, no, you're now with us now, and you do as we tell you.
Which I think, touching on a little bit of what I
Because
said
you're
to you.
Muslim.
Yeah, I'm Muslim. Touching on a little bit what I don't agree with is when paedophiles or people that have done crimes to relate to kids or child killers or anything like that, where they can go in there quite easily and think that they can convert at that time to being a Muslim. I don't agree with that, because if you're a paedophile, whether you're in jail being protected by other Muslims, I think it's wrong, because on the outside we don't agree with paedophiles. Why should
They're ostracised.
because they're protected in there, they're still a paedophile. You know what I mean? What you might have an umbrella of you're in a brotherhood of Muslims and that to protect you, but they shouldn't get protected, because ultimately look at their crime and what they've done.
The
They
system's
they
changed,
deserve to
Shaquille.
be protected. I don't think they do. They don't deserve to be protected. Why? Because our mindset is, you know what I mean? This is how we've been brought up. How I've been brought up is, if you're a wrong'un, you're a wrong'un. You know what I mean? And if you're in jail in that volatile environment and you come across somebody that doesn't agree with your offence, you're going to get dealt with, because that's the way prison life is. And I don't think that should change, because, according to your offence, why should you safeguard yourself in prison because you've got a majority of people protecting you? You know what I mean? And okay, yeah, our religion does say that it forgives, forgives everything and everything like that. But my kind of personal opinion on it is, you're a paedophile, and that won't change whether you convert or you stick with a gang. It could be any gang. It could be, you're Muslim or you're any other kind of race being protected, and that's my opinion. It doesn't change. You're a paedophile. You're a paedophile. It doesn't matter what umbrella you're under. whether you're in prison or out of prison, we don't agree with it because that's the way we've been brought up. You know what I mean?
So,
that's a normal thinking behind it. You know what I mean?
Would you invite them round to your house for dinner?
I would not invite them round to my house. And I'll be honest, on camera, I'd punch their heads in, if I'm honest with you.
So what's happening in prison at the minute is you convert to Islam and then you're down at Friday prayers and you're praying with other inmates, but you're welcomed then. So I was on a wing before I got released. I can't mention the prison.
Mm-hmm.
And opposite me, there were a couple of rapists in the prison. There was a couple of child killers. There was a couple of fellas that had killed their girlfriends when they were pregnant.
Yeah.
Such like that.
See, you know what I mean? Them certain crimes, you know what I mean? You just want to...
So on every wing now.
You know
it's
what I
not
mean?
like the norm like it used to be. But what that's doing, that's causing to allow you to have people on the landings that should not be on there. There was a lad opposite me in one of these prisons I was in. He had been involved in torturing and raping a 14-year-old and a 15-year-old girl with his pals. Kept him in a hotel room, and one was begging them to kill her at the end of it, okay? They took him to a park and they shot him through the mouth. He shot him through the mouth, one lived. His mother disowned him.
Yeah.
He's on the landings, and people are having it with him because he converted. And I said, it's disgraceful. Would you invite him around your house to meet your mum and your sisters?
100% you wouldn't, yeah.
So I'm doing a bit of time now in prison. I thought, listen, the prison system's changed. Shut my door up.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, when you went into prison, when you got recalled back recently, in February this year,
Last year, 2024.
Oh, what was it like when you got recalled back last year, as opposed to when you were released in 2015? You know, the contrast of what it was like. How long did you spend on your recall?
14 and a half months.
Yeah. No, I'm on about last year.
Yeah, 14 and a half
14
months.
months. Okay, yeah.
And I've been out 2.5.
Okay.
This time.
What was the system like when you'd gone back in?
A lot of bang up. Not enough staff. Behind your door, a hell of a lot. I do my time behind my door anyway, and I don't have a TV.
And what about the people in there? Was it
Most
gangs?
of them this time, a lot of gangs in the London prisons.
Yeah.
I was in prisons down in another county area, which was a little bit different, not so many gangs at all, really.
Yeah.
But what you did have was a hell of a lot of domestic abuse inmates recalled on allegations, suspicion, straight in. And because domestic violence comes under domestic terrorism now, and it's number one on every police constabulary's list above terrorism.
Wow.
Fact.
Yeah.
So, as a result of that, the prisons are full, which is why that's caused a bottleneck of prisoners in the prison that got to get out. But it's taken so long to get to court to challenge them or parole boards. That has caused a jamming system, as well as the phones, the encrypted phones. So there's two sorts of the criminal justice system here, where people have been arrested in massive numbers. That's why there's no spaces in prison, and they've had to release them, as you know, by various different rules.
Yeah.
But however, the prison system is overrun and underpopulated, and staff, and I'll say this, they've got a terrible job. So when they're trying to do a good job, some of them, some ain't, some don't give two monkeys.
Yeah.
But for the ones that do care and they go out their way for someone who's cutting himself or whatever he's doing, it's sad. And you've got a lot more mental health, a lot of lads cutting themselves now for different reasons, a lot of spice, whereas it used to be a bit of
There
puff.
was a lot of spice,
There's no rehabilitation in there at all. It's just
They're coming
completely
out.
wrong.
They're coming out, ain't learning nothing in there because there's no system set up in there for when people come out of prison to guide you through. You know, you come out of prison, you do your probation, everything, and then there you go again, back into the wide world. Go and commit more crime if you want to commit it, or go down a straight path. You know, for people that are doing long-term prison and that, there's nothing in place. Well, there might be, I don't know. I'm just guessing that there's nothing in place for them to come out where the government or anything in place to guide them to not commit any, or even like integrate them back into society. I don't think there is
This
anything.
country needs 6 million homes.
Yeah.
What are they doing to provide the materials and the that they need for that? They should have workshops, building frames, building doors, joinery shops where they're making kitchens, etc., etc. And you're getting paid a wage. So that wage then goes to support your family outside, money put aside for you for when you go home, and also contribute towards your upkeep in prison.
Yeah.
How about that instead of having them in jobs where there's 15 blokes in a paint shop learning to paint a wall, doing nothing?
Yeah,
really,
nothing,
you could do dry fabricated walls that are going to go out, panels, and then plaster them. Not plaster wall that you're going to take the plaster off, or lime and cement and take that off and remix it.
Like draft jobs in from outside and train the prisoners up that they can do in there. You know, like proper jobs in there where they're making stuff that one day when they get out, that they can take that training with them and put it.
We've got 20 years worth of houses to be built minimal in this country. Get the workshops built, give them a wage, let them provide for their family to keep the same. They don't have to duck and dive and do drugs in prison to earn money to pay for their canteen or their phone calls, or their wife's money that she's on universal credit, she's got to try and support him. It gives them something to hold on to. You get up out of bed in the morning, you go to work. You don't have the TV on till 6 o'clock all night. You have to have a certain amount of hours for TV, so you reduce that. Because what they're doing, they're staying up till 3 or 4 in the evening, not getting up in the AM, not getting up to go work in the morning. You need to change that ethos. You've got to get rid of that. And I also believe that doesn't matter what category you are, you should be able to see your family and your loved ones in an area in prison where you can have a weekend with them, where the children come in to see daddy, you have a barbecue in the garden, you're in like a bungalow type house, but you're maintaining a family support system.
Because you need to have that to when you
when
eventually
you
get released.
You got some hope.
Yeah.
And the family comes out and says, I see my daddy this weekend, and daddy's telling them off, they respect their daddy. Daddy's giving them education and values. Although he's in prison, he will still teach them about fatherly love and what's right and what's wrong. Yeah. We don't have that in this country, but we should have it in this country.
We should have it in this country.
And you'll find it'd be a lot better for the economy.
Yeah.
And what I would say as well, all the Johnny Foreigners that are coming over on the boats, all these young men, they should be put in army camps and say, and if you want to stay over here, you go and work in the territorial army in this country as a sport basis, like either doing all the materials that we need, keep away from the ammunitions and stuff like that. But stuff that this country needs. You learn the language in the army camp, you study the language in this country, and you work. And then when you've done 2 or 3 years...
And then you give them an incentive.
Then you give an incentive. How many people would come over here if they knew they were going to get put in an isolation army camp to do that? How many young men would become? They wouldn't come over here because they're not getting put in holiday inns, getting paid.
They're getting all the incentives way before, as soon as they come in, I think, that's exactly what they should do. You know what I mean?
Stuff like that.
Put them into work and everything, say, look, do these jobs and everything and that. If you don't do these jobs, then you're going to go back to where you came from. Give them some sort of incentives to work instead of giving them freebies. You know
Make them earn their bleeding stay here. Make them prove they want to be here.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
add to this country, not take from it straight away. And that's what they're doing.
But I think this government needs to, instead of doing it the other way around and giving freebies out, they need to implement certain things, like we said, like procedures in there. People are coming into the country, you know what I mean? Get them doing certain things, certain jobs, certain tasks. Let them jump through hurdles to get to the end, like you just said.
In one of the prisons I was in, there was a whole house block full of refugees in prison. They was then going to donate, and not donate, but make another whole house block for the same purpose. So 2 whole house blocks in a prison just for refugees. Yeah.
And for people who committed crime who are not members of this country, is it still the same? They get deported back after their offence?
No, it's not.
So what's the crack there then?
They claim they can't go back because it's against their human rights.
So they don't send. They used to years ago. If you'd commit a crime and you're not a resident of this country,
no, you can't
you
go
do
back.
your sentence, or you could do it where you came from, and they send you back.
So Jamaica, you can hand back your British passport and go back to Jamaica after you've served a very long time in prison. It doesn't happen like that. There are some rules where you can go back, but you're giving up your UK citizenship. However, that isn't everywhere. You can go back to say because they're trying to empty the prisons now, there are certain cases where you can go back, but you have to serve a majority of time in prison, and also that government has to agree not to release you as soon as you get back there. If I was getting sent back to Albania, I know I'm getting out as soon as I get back there. Because I'm paying a few quid and I'm gone.
That's right,
But it's not like you've got Lee Russell, is it, in Morocco? The
MMA fighter,
He's done 20
What's happened with him?
years.
So he did
terrible.
Bank.
Lee Murray.
Bank. Did he do a bank job?
So they've done the Tunbridge Wells robbery, 50 million quid.
That's it, yeah.
Paul Allen's code.
Yeah.
He's out there now. He served his sentence.
Yeah.
He's the only one still in prison.
Yeah. Why have they still got him locked up? Why can't he get out?
Well, because he had to start his sentence again when he was over there. I'm not going to go into too much details about that.
Okay.
But what I'm saying, he's still in prison in Morocco, where you would have thought he could have bought his way out.
He could have.
He got a girl pregnant over there that was visiting him. He was having all sorts of privileges.
Yeah.
Spent his money. Now he's got no money.
Okay.
Apparently so. But however, he's still in bloody prison.
Yeah.
That is not right.
So
he's a political prisoner being made an example of.
Yeah.
And yet, why? When everybody else is back out of prison over here? Who's giving him any out? But the government doing anything about him? Of course they're not.
Of course they're not.
If your face don't fit, you stay in prison.
You stay in prison. That's right. Let me.
Unless you're a good singer to the police.
yeah.
Bit of a like, I'm going to sing a song in a minute.
Let me talk about your 99-year license when you've been out. Tell me the pitfalls, the hurdles that you come across of trying to keep yourself out of trouble. You know, how hard is it? I mean,
Recently,
it's not like a normal license. You do half your sentence, you get out, and you do half of that. That 99 years is like a life. It's like having a ball and chain around your neck or your leg. You know, how do you like cope with it from day to day?
It's very difficult. I can have, so for instance, I could be told that you and Joe Bloggs over here are plotting to come and jump me and do something. I may have your details in relation to where you live, who you are, what your name is, what you look like.
Yeah.
Do I come and find you? No, I don't.
Yeah.
Because if I come and find you and do something, I'm straight back in prison.
Straight back.
The old Kevin would have gone, you're going to accident and emergency immediately, tonight.
Yeah.
But now I go, well, wait till they come on me and then we'll see what happens.
Right.
So I've got to be attacked to defend myself. And that's what I'm going through a hell of a lot.
because you can't make the first move because it's game over. You're recalled back because, you know, you can't, you know, as I say,
should never know that you're plotting against me. I got told the same day.
So even
if
if you
told someone else.
I tell you what, a scenario would be like, say if somebody, you seen somebody in the street, they started on you and you defended yourself.
Oh, bad behaviour they call that.
Right, so you're back in.
Can't
even defend yourself. All right, somebody, I'll let you stab me before.
Bad behaviour.
You know, I can't do nothing back to you. Do you know what I mean? It's just terrible, isn't it?
The law's really one-sided at the minute, and they need to review this system. There is, however, they're going back to the old system where you go in front of a magistrate now to recall you. I believe it's meant to be in action now. And that was springboarded by Simon Crichton, former solicitor for Bart Murphy. He's now a judge. Okay. Not in the criminal system, for another area of the criminal justice system. However, he was championing that, and it's now brought it back into. But prior to that, you was recalled by a probation officer who doesn't know you, for instance, and then they will recall you what's in paper, not knowing the case. So that means you can have a probation officer who already knows about what's been alleged against you, hasn't got a problem with it because they know it's rubbish, and then 3 weeks later you get arrested in another area. The police notify the probation because you're a life licenser. The probation officer from that area hasn't been in touch with your probation officer and recalls you immediately. So then you're in prison, and then you've got to wait the system to release you.
It's an uphill struggle. Tell me a little bit about your appeals. I mean, how many have you had, and what your current appeal is, and how you're getting on with it?
I had 3 CCRC applications. CCRC have been quite lambasted in the past for failing.
CCRC is Criminal Courts
Criminal
Review
Cases
Commission.
Review Commission.
Criminal Cases Review Commission.
So I had 3 with them, and one of the reviews said if we didn't think there was a prospect of referring your case, we would have closed it by now. 20 days later, I received a letter from them saying they've closed my case. I could never work it out why. Anyway, consequently, my case is now back in the CCRC. Okay. My book was told to be part of that consideration. So anybody who's got anything to say about my conviction and what I say in it, it's now being considered judicially about my conviction being unsafe. So the information in there is now under serious consideration, as well as the Panorama programme Last Chance for Justice by Mark Daly and Louise Chaucer. Okay. Have a look at that and see what they're saying there. So it's now back in front of them again. Yeah. And they're considering all what I say in my book. And that is very powerful. So I'm back in there again. How long it takes is another matter. Because they take a long time. I've had 3.5 years, 4.5 years, stuff like that. Too long.
Well, what would it mean to you that if you know, how would it change your life if you could overturn your conviction? What would it mean to you to overturn
I can lead a normal life. I haven't got to worry about being recalled. I can go where I want, move where I want, move to another country if I wanted to.
Yeah.
A free man, don't have to ask permission for where I go, what I can do. Just feel
Would you
free.
have any like animosity towards the system after you've, say if you're successful with your conviction, you overturn it, you get, would you have any sort of resentment towards the system, towards the people that put you in there, once
People
you
that put me in there, you mean the informers?
Yeah, informants,
Yeah, I've got resentment
the
towards
system,
them.
The police or anything like that, what would you feel towards them, if anything, or
No, I don't.
maybe you wouldn't feel anything towards them.
I don't. I'll tell you why, Shaquille, because bitterness, the Norwegians are very good at not having bitter. They try to steer away from bitter forgiveness. Yeah. So I realise that bitterness can make you very angry and ruin your personality. So what's happened. It's happened for a reason. Get on with it.
Get on with it.
However, I will always have feelings towards some people because they're still at their shenanigans now because they think the waters are calm and there aren't any crocodiles in it.
That's right. Yeah.
But however, just because nothing is happening, it doesn't mean that crocodile is still swimming about.
That's right, yeah.
So what I do, I just go about my life and just get on with it and enjoy myself.
Yeah, you just do you. And
just
everything.
do me.
Yeah.
I'll worry about that later.
Yeah.
While they're worrying about themselves and plotting and scheming, crack right on because life's got a good way of dealing with things.
It has, karma.
Yeah. And I just get on with my life and enjoy it every day.
Yeah.
Make the best of it, be around good people.
That's good, yeah.
I'm going to get back into my charity work soon. It's been mental since I come home.
Yeah.
And enjoy good company, good friends and life. One life, live it.
One life, live it, yeah. You don't know whether you're going to be here tomorrow or gone the next day, so you might make the most of.
I want to make some more babies.
You want to make some? Yeah, there's been 20 years of you need catching up with.
Catching up.
Or you caught up.
Yeah, I want people to visit me when I'm old.
Yeah. Tell me the 3 most important things in your life currently.
Children.
Yeah.
Family. That's one. Okay.
Yeah.
Just say family. Overturning my conviction.
Yeah.
2. And enjoying life.
Yeah.
Staying out of prison. Enjoying life.
Yeah.
One
trouble free. You've been through all that. You've been through all that. It's a good portion of your life that you've been through. Now you want to turn that next chapter, and you haven't put it behind you because there's still a process going on with it. But you want to move on to positive things. That's what you're looking forward to. I
was driving around in a brand spanking new red Ferrari the weekend.
And let's hope you can. Let's hope
that's enjoying life. Brand spanking new out the showroom.
Yeah.
Get in there, off you go, Kevin.
Yeah.
Lovely jubbly.
Yeah.
I was in a palatial country club in Cambridge.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Beautiful, Gav. So that's what I'll get invited to the most spectacular places like this.
You do. Yeah.
Beautiful, with a 4-poster bed in there that I might have got tied up to if I'd have brought someone with me. But I didn't. I come on my own because I'm going back.
Yeah, I did think that. I thought, you got an overnight stay here. Is he going to stay, or do you have the option there? And I did think that
I wanted
you
to.
might come back with.
I might come back
a partner or not, but yeah.
I'd love to come back and see you again.
Yeah,
however, tomorrow morning I've got an interview with Nick Hopkins
tell us about
from
that.
The Guardian.
Yeah.
And he's interviewing about my drink. So if anybody wants to watch the Max Fosh YouTube video, that's my booze they've got in there. And one of the wine critics labelled mine as the best out of the 6 bottles they put in front of them without knowing it was prison hooch, based on prison hooch.
And where can they get your prison hooch from?
Can't buy it at a minute because I'm only going into... I'm currently in strong negotiations to have it going into production, and then it'd be everywhere.
What about your book? Where can people buy your book?
You get on Amazon.
Yeah.
Fitted Up and Fighting Back website. You get it in Publish Easy, which is Waterstones, and KevinLane Books. KevinLane Books is owned by Stripes, not me, but they're the only people in this country that do hard copies. They do 300 a year. The hard copy sells for £35 to £45 on eBay second hand.
Yeah.
What does that tell you? means it's got to be a great read. I'll tell you also, I might
Do you
just
know what?
say,
I read your book and I found it an absolute brilliant read. I think I finished it in 2 or 3 days. Very thoughtful, very detailed in every sort of aspect of your prison life, normal life. You know, when you got charged with the offence and everything, you talk about the people that were involved in your case and that. It was a brilliant read, honestly.
Thank you.
And I'm not a real book reader, but I wanted to read your book because I knew that you're going to be coming and sitting down with me. So I obviously wanted to get the background of your case and basically your life and everything, which you know what I mean?
I could tell you'd read it by the questions you asked.
Yeah, and honestly, I really enjoyed it, and I'm not a book reader, and I finished it in 2 or 3 days, and it was just you know.
Thank you. I read this morning. I was up at 5. I'm up at 5 pretty much every morning. Yesterday I signed 40 odd books.
Yeah.
I got this morning. I did another 6 that had come in overnight. But I've got a good friend up in Scotland, Mark, and he has done 100 books in Scotland.
Wow.
Literally.
Yeah.
I posted 30 to him a few days ago, 30 a little while ago, and I'm doing 44 to him tomorrow. So, done.
Yeah.
And that's without all the other books that are going out. That's why my book's a bestseller.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank Mark.
What's your socials where people can get in touch with you and maybe get a glimpse of your story, maybe follow your story? Tell us what your social...
Instagram, TikTok, KevinLane, Fitted Up and Fighting Back.
Okay.
I'm going to be releasing a podcast that I did yesterday. It's my first one, and it's on YouTube, Fitted Up and Fighting Back. I'm interviewed Kenny Collins, the Hatton Garden, from his childhood, what he did as a kid, what he did for work when he left school. Very humorous interview. It's not all what people are going to think about, but it does touch on crime.
Yeah.
But it's a mixture there, and it's really, really good. And I'm just saying that because he hasn't been interviewed before.
Yeah.
So that gets released in a month's time on Fed Up and Fighting Back.
Any other like TV kind of...
I have, yes.
Yeah, any other TV things that you're doing in the pipeline?
I know
I watched you on Banged Up. It was a TV documentary that was local to us here at the Dana and that, and I found it a good watch.
Yeah,
Shrewsbury. Yeah. So any others that you
there
got
is,
in the pipeline?
There's 2 things at the minute. I haven't got the permission to mention them.
Yeah.
But I was.
Are you enjoying that side of it?
Loving it.
Yeah.
I was with Jonathan Ross is doing a series called Cuffed at the moment.
Yeah. I think I've seen that.
I was broached for being on that if I'd have been released as one of the contestants.
Yeah.
So there's that. There's another one that I've been mentioned about doing.
Yeah.
So I've only been out 2.5 months. So I'm looking to go back into that industry.
Good.
And further my career there.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Other than that, I'm going to become a pole dancer extraordinaire. And you can hire me for my services.
Hire you for your services. Well, listen, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much, Shaquille.
It's been a pleasure talking to you, highlighting your story, and getting it out there. On a serious note, let's hope that you can get off with this conviction and you can put it behind you, and and move on in your life, as you are doing. So I appreciate you coming down, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me. Really appreciate you for having me, and I will be back because this is lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you, mate. God bless you.
Thank you for joining us. That was episode 3 with KevinLane. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for updates, and our links are Connected Crime Official on Instagram, Connected Crime Official on YouTube and TikTok. Thank you.